So yes, students, today we'll start with the new model, that is model number 4. Okay, so already completed 3 models, right? Model number 1, 2, 3. Okay, all of you go through that model here. So model number 4 is the new model here. So name of the model is op-amp with negative feedback and general amplification. Okay, so this is the name of the model number 4. So op-amp means we can call it as an operational amplifier. Okay, so for that we can use negative feedback for the amplifier. Okay, from that you can use it for the different applications. Okay, here now taken general applications here. So here in model number 4 we can discuss about different topics here. Okay, the first one is inverting and non-inverting amplifier. This is very important here. Okay, these are the basics here. Okay, inverting and non-inverting amplifier. So these are basics. Understood? If you know about inverting and non-inverting here, then it will be very easy for the derivations. Okay, suppose if you don't know about any inverting and non-inverting amplifier, then it's very difficult for the derivations. But remember this one. Okay, so when you come for these kind of amplifiers here, we can go for the closed loop gain. Okay, in terms of current and voltage and the input resistance, output impedance, bandwidth with feedback. Okay, then DC and AC amplifiers, summing, scaling, averaging. Okay, then instrumentation amplifier, comparators, so zero crossing detector and schematic trigger. So from here to here, these two are okay general applications. Okay, from DC to AC amplifier up to schematic trigger. So these are the different applications on the inverting and non-inverting amplifier. So in lab also they are given some experiment. Okay, in part A there are so many experiments are there using op-amp. Okay, with respect to summing, scaling, then instrumentation amplifier, comparator, zero crossing detector, schematic trigger. Okay, so model number 4 is complete lab syllabus here. Okay, so here we have to study about the theory. Okay, in part A they given complete practical simulations with based on the hardware components. Okay, from the hardware components you have to design the summing circuit, scaling circuit, then instrumentation amplifier, comparator, zero crossing detector and schematic trigger. Okay, so these are the different applications from the op-amp. Understood? So for the lab point of view, so this model is very important here. Okay, if you know the theory, then it's very easy to conduct the experiment here. Okay, if you know the theory, it's very easy to conduct any kind of experiment using op-amp. Okay, if you don't know any kind of inverting and non-inverting amplifier means it's very difficult here. Okay, if people get a confusion, okay, which one is inverting, which one is non-inverting, how to write the derivations, you'll get a confusing there. Okay, this one is very simple model, model number 4 and 5. So these are very simple. We can score maximum marks here, but you should get some confusion. Okay, for avoiding that one here, you should thoroughly have to understand. So what is inverting amplifier and non-inverting amplifier? Understood? So first we'll start with the new model, that is 4-year operational amplifier. Understood? So first to take operational amplifier. What is the definition for the operational amplifier here? Here you can design the any kind of circuit by operating the amplifier. Understood? Means within the op-amp you have to make some connections. Okay, within the op-amp you have to make some connections because so this operational amplifier it gives the 8-pin IC. Okay, what to take an op-amp here? It's a 8-pin IC. Okay, within the 8-pin we can make the different connections. Okay, with respect to biasing, okay, with respect to scaling, okay, like that. So based on these applications we can make the different connection. That's why I can call it the operational amplifier. So we are going to operate the ICs based on the different connections and biasing method. Understood? So that's why I call it the operational amplifier. So operational amplifier is a circuit building block of universal importance. Okay, this one is the universal IC. Okay, what to take an op-amp? It's a universal IC. I think people have studied in logic gates, right? So NAND gate is the universal gate here, like that. Same in ICs, op-amp is the universal ICs. Understood? So what are the applications means? We can go for the analog computations. We can go for the instrumentation method here. Okay, analog computation means we can operate the signal with respect to time. Okay, so signal is varying with the time here. Okay, so that we can compute here. Instrumentation means we can measure the different parameters like heat, pressure, okay, temperature and all. So for this application, we can use the op-amp. If you use the op-amp here, we can go for the higher reliability. Okay, for the long time, we can use the ICs here for these applications. Next, again, there are some more applications on the op-amp, which are those here. We can use it for the communication system. So what is your branch name? Electronic and communications, right? Communication is what here? Sharing of information from one locations to another locations. Okay, so in order to send and receive the signal here, we can use op-amp here. Okay, communication is what here? Not to send the signal or receive the signals. For that purpose, you have to use the op-amp. Next, instrumentation, then computing systems means we can go for the higher order circuits here. So next you take now history of the op-amp. Okay, in early op-amp constructions, okay, based on the discrete components, okay, like vacuum tubes. Okay, so nowadays they are using transistor and resistor. Understood? So earlier they are using vacuum tubes to make the op-amp circuits. Understood? So in 1960, okay, the invented op-amp IC name is 709. Okay, MUA 709. So in this ICs, MUA 709, so you'll get a larger number of transistors. Okay, means we can take any BJT transistors and resistors, and we can make single silicon chip. Okay, and also price is very high. Okay, because this one is the very old op-amp here, that is 709. Okay, for that cost is very high because it occupies the more number of transistors. When number of transistors more here, then cost will be more. Okay, so high cost, it depends on the number of transistors. Then you take CAD6. Okay, you take CAD6 of the op-amp here. Here CAD6 of the op-amp is very poor here. Okay, because this one is a very old op-amp here that is invented in 1960. Okay, so for that CAD6 of the op-amp is very low because it gives the non-linear output. Okay, next usage of the ICs is increases. Okay, day by day this op-amp, okay, usage is increases here, but the cost also they have reduced because they are going to reduce the number of transistors in the ICs. Okay, so yeah, number of transistors reduced in the ICs here. Okay, the price automatically it will be reduces. Okay, so once you reduce the transistor size here, okay, and number of transistors, the price automatically it will be reduces. Understood? Then usage also increases. Okay, day by the op-amp usages also increases. And the demand for the better quality op-amp also increases. Okay, once you start using the op-amp here, okay, the quality of the op-amp also have increased. Okay, quality, usage, then low cost also they are achieved. Understood? So these are the day by day they invented some better qualities in ICs here. Understood? Next, when you come for the amplifier circuits here, okay, you take now output voltage and input voltage. Okay, if you take a general amplifier, you take general amplifier here, neglect the op-amp here. If you design any amplifier here, first you take input and output with respect to time. Okay, with respect to time means the input and output voltage always depends on the AC signals. Okay, AC source. Understood? So based on that, you have to carry the signals. Okay, V naught and Vi. Okay, because that's why I written V naught of t and Vi of t. So next you take V naught of t is equal to now A into Vi of t. So what is A here? Amplification gain. Okay, A is equal to what now? V naught by Vi. And also call it as a proportional constant here. Okay, gain thing but what here? It's a proportional constant. Understood? That's why I written A. So A is the amplifier gain. Next, this is very important here. Shortcoming of amplifier circuits. Okay, suppose if you taken any general amplifier here, okay, not only op-amp here, if you taken any amplifier, okay, first you have to maintain input impedance is uh, Zi. Okay, you have to maintain input impedance is Zi. Okay, that should be low. Okay, that should be low here. Next, gear of the amplifier is moderately designed here. Next, bandwidth. Okay, that should be in limited mode here. Okay, then amplifier noise present at the input is environmental noise, thermal noise, other noise. Okay, see here, these are the shortcoming of amplifiers in the circuit. Means if you design any circuit here, there are some limitations, there are some drawbacks here. Okay, what are the drawbacks here? Input impedance is low. Okay, the gain of the amplifier design is almost moderate here. The bandwidth is limited and noise is more here. Okay, so noise is more means what are the different type of noise here? You know, amplifier, environmental noise. Okay, means temperature. Thermal noise means it's a power supply noise. Then other kind of noise here. Okay, these are the limitations, means drawback of the general amplifier that you have to avoid. Okay, so what to take an impedance, gain, bandwidth, these drawbacks you have to avoid in the operational amplifier, not to make the new IC. See here, when we come for the solution for these drawbacks here, okay, in op-amp we can go for the popular methods like versatility. Okay, versatility means we can adopt the new things in the ICs. Okay, we can adapt the new things in the ICs here. Then characteristics. Okay, character should be ideal always. Okay, then circuit should be easy to design. Okay, then performance levels. It depends on the theoretically predicted means. So if you design any performance here for the op-amp, that should be relevant to the theoretical method. Okay, so these are the some solutions for the op-amp here. Understood? First one is what here? Versatility. Okay, means we can adopt the different things in the op-amp IC. Then CAD checks that should be equal to ideal mode always. Then you have to design the circuit in easy mode. Then performance level almost depends on the theoretical methods. Okay, so these are the solutions in order to avoid these kind of drawback in the amplifier. Understood? Next, you take ICs here. If you take an op-amp ICs here, okay, you take now different parameters, means you have different elements like transistors, large number of tens. Okay, then resistor you can use here, capacitor also you can use here. So these are the different types of elements in the ICs. So what are the elements they are going to use in the op-amp here? Transistor they will use here. Okay, up to maximum 10 transistor here. Here they will use the resistors and also they will use the capacitors. Okay, these are the different elements they can use it for the op-amp design here. Understood? So these are the op-amp components. Okay, within the ICs, they have connected transistor, resistor, capacitor. So in this chapter, they are going to take the different types of circuits. Okay, so this op-amp is studied with the terminal characteristics and applications. Okay, so in syllabus, what they given here, content. So op-amp terminal characteristics and applications. Understood? So here we can make two study on the op-amp here. One based on the applications. Okay, you know the applications, right? What are the applications? Zero cross detecting, schema trigger, scaling, summing, averaging, instrumentation, op-amp, instrumentation amplifier. So these are the applications from the op-amp here. And also we can study the terminal characteristics. Okay, what are the terminals here? Input terminal and output terminals. Okay, for the op-amp there are two terminals, input terminals, and there is only one output terminals. Okay, like that you have to consider. So here you consider first ideal op-amp. In exam, they can ask any kind of op-amp. There are two types of op-amp: ideal op-amp and practical op-amp. Okay, ideal op-amp and practical op-amp. In exam, they mention, suppose if it is an ideal op-amp means you have to make it as a different analysis here. Okay, suppose if it is a practical op-amp means you have to make the different analysis here. There is a difference between the ideal op-amp and practical op-amp. Understood? Ideal means what here? Cut-in voltage is 0. Okay, op-amp cut-in voltage is 0. Practical and so cut-in voltage is how much here? Like 0.7. So for that you have to do again different derivations here. Okay, don't get confused here. Okay, ideal is different. Ideal antandre cut-in voltage is 0. Okay, practical means you have to take cut-in voltage is 0.7 for silicon. Understood? So don't combine ideal op-amp and practical op-amp. In exam specifically they will ask, okay, for the cut-in voltage problems and ideal op-amp problems and next practical op-amp. Understood? So based on that you have to write the analysis here. First you take ideal op-amp. Okay, so in ideal op-amp they have taken terminals and they know input to output. Remember this one. Okay, here words are very important here. Note ಹೊಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮಗಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, because you'll get a more number of circuits here, but you'll get a confused. Okay, definitely you'll get a confused here. So understand, okay, what are the words they have written for the name of the circuit. So op-amp terminal means you have to talk about only terminals. What are the terminals here? Input and output. See this op-amp symbol here. Okay, this one is the ideal op-amp. Okay, ideal op-amp. There are two terminals. Which are those here? Input and output. Come for the input. Total how many inputs are there here? 1 and 2. Why they given 1 and 2 here? Because these two are different sign. Okay, op-amp having a two different signs here, minus and plus. Okay, minus and plus. Suppose if you connect input for the plus here, it acts as a non-inverting amplifier. Suppose if you apply input to the negative sign here, it acts as a what here? Inverting amplifier. Okay, so here important thing is what here? Connection, input connections. Suppose if you connect input to the negative sign here, it acts as a inverting amplifier. Suppose if we connect input to the positive sign here, it acts as a non-inverting. Okay, that is the meaning here. Understood? What is inverting and non-inverting? Input to negative sign ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ that is inverting. Input to positive connect ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ non-inverting. Understood? What is input terminal? Next, you take output here. Okay, output means they take a single output here. Okay, that is 3. Terminal number 3. Okay. So here they have taken difference in signal. For this op-amp, what they have taken here? Difference in signal, because the signs are different here, negative sign and positive sign. Okay, that's why here you can call it a difference in signals. Terminal number 1 and 2. So this op-amp, there are 3 terminals here. Okay, 1 and 2, 1 for the negative, 2 for the positive, 3 for the output. Understood? So this op-amp, it will take DC voltage for the conduction. Remember this one. So remember this one here. This op-amp, okay, it will take DC voltage for the conduction. Understood? It will take DC voltage for the conduction. See here, You take one more circuit diagram here. Okay, come for this diagram here. Okay. See here, for the op-amp, they are given plus VCC and minus VE. Okay, so plus VCC antandre because inside the op-amp they are connected to BJT transistor. Have you seen that diagram? I will show the diagram here. BJT circuit here. Is it visible, this diagram?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, this is the actually op-amp circuit diagram. Okay, this is the exact circuit diagram for the op-amp. So what taken, that is triangular shape, that is only symbol op-amp. Okay, symbol of the op-amp here. But inside the op-amp there are two transistors. Okay, which transistor they are connected here? BJT. If you want, you can connect our FET also, no problem. But here they given BJT. Okay, they have taken two BJT transistor in parallel form. Okay, two transistor in parallel form here. So collector, it is connected where here? VCC. Okay, both transistor collector terminal, it is connected where here? VCC, by using the two load resistance here. Okay, because collector is output, right? If you connect any resistance across the output here, it acts as a load resistance here. Okay, that's why I call it the RC. So RC is what here? It's a output resistance for the BJT transistor. Okay. So next you take emitter. Emitter, they shorted here. That is connected to negative voltage. Okay, through the emitter resistance. For the collector, they have taken plus VCC. Okay, for the emitter, they have taken negative VE. Understood? They are going to apply positive and negative voltage for the BJT transistor in between the collector and emitter. So where is the input here? Base. Okay, base is the input here. Understood? So here BJT, one, it is connected to V1 voltage and the terminal 1 voltage, and BJT2, it is connected to terminal 2 voltage. Okay, so they are taken two voltage, terminal 1 and 2 for the second transistor, 1 for the first transistor. So where is the output here? Okay, output is only single here. Okay, there are two inputs for the op-amp, right? And one output for the op-amp. Where is output here? That is from these two transistor collector terminal. Okay, the collector terminal is the output here from these two transistors. See this the circuit diagram here. They have taken only one. Okay, they have taken only one output here. Okay, so this circuit, it acts as a what here? Sense amplifier. It will senses the difference in signal V1 and V2. Okay, V1, if it is a 5 voltage here, okay, V2 you have to give the 0 voltage. Okay, you have to give the difference in voltage V1 and V2. Suppose if you take a V1 as a 5 here, V2 as a 0 voltage here. So these are difference, right? When there is a difference here, we'll get output voltage. Okay, when there is a difference in signal, we'll get a output voltage. Suppose if you give V1 as a 5 voltage and V2 as a 5 voltage. So what is the output now? 0. Because for the both sides, we're applying the common voltage, like 5 voltage. That's why the output voltage of the op-amp is 0. Okay, means this sense amplifier, this differential amplifier, this op-amp, it will reject the common mode signal. That is called as a CMRR. Okay, have you heard CMRR here? Common mode rejection ratio. If you apply any common voltage, common current for the op-amp here, the output is always 0. Always you have to maintain difference in input signal. Okay, then only you can get the output voltage. That's why we call it sense amplifier. It will senses the difference in signal, input signals. Understood? This is the internal circuit diagram here. So next you come for the your op-amp symbol here. For the symbol they given plus VCC. You know that why they given VCC here? Because the 2 transistor collector is connected to plus VCC and the 2 transistor emitter is connected to negative voltage minus V. After that, you take DC voltage here, that is plus VCC, it is connected to pin number 4 and minus V, it is connected to pin number 5. See here the given DC symbol here, DC source symbol. Come for this figure right side here, pin number 4 and 5. Okay, pin number 4 and 5, it is connected to DC source. Pin number 4 for the plus VCC. See here the positive potential it is connected to 4 here. Here negative potential it is connected to 5 because this is negative, right? So negative is connected to 5. The positive is connected to 4. Means for the 4 terminal number 4 we are maintaining the plus VCC. Terminal number 5 we are maintaining negative voltage. So these are the basics here. If you know the basics here, then you can understand the derivations. Otherwise, it's very difficult here. Then op-amp have a terminals for frequency compensation and offset nulling. So this is very important here. See here. If you taken any op-amp here, okay, there is some drawback here. Okay, what is that drawback here? So without applying the input here, we'll get some output voltage. Okay, suppose if you make any 0 voltage for the input side here, okay, even though output side we are getting some voltage, okay, that is leakage voltage. Okay, if you maintain any 0 voltage, okay, suppose if you not connected any input for the op-amp here, even though it will show the some leakage voltage, means leakage current, means there are some voltage here. Okay, suppose if you not connected any input for the op-amp here, like example you take multimeter, it will show like 0.005 voltage, okay, or 0.5 voltage, okay, like that it will show some unwanted voltage here, even though it is not connected input. Okay, that have to remove. Okay, that have to remove here. Okay, how you going to remove here? By applying the 2 power supply. Okay, by applying the 2 power supply. Okay, that again got the offset nulling. Okay, so offset nulling means by applying the some DC voltage. Okay, by applying the some DC voltage, you have to make output as a 0. Okay, you have to make output as a 0. Then input is not connected. Understood? Nulling antandre 0, output is 0. Offset antandre you have to make some calibration. Okay, you have to make some calibration here. Understood? So by applying the DC supply. Again, there is a one more point here, that is frequency compensation. Here we can match the frequency. Compensation and then we can match the frequency depending upon the input signal. So for that, to take feedback. Okay, without feedback, we can't do anything here. Okay, in basics, they are not shown any feedback of the op-amp. Remember this one. Next, you take functions and characteristics of the ideal op-amp. This is very important for the internal and examination. Okay. Internally the questions, so externally. Okay, what is that question here? Functions and characteristics of the ideal op-amp. Okay, this is very important for the job interview. Okay, in interview they'll ask what are the characteristics of ideal op-amp. ನೀವೆಲ್ಲೇ ಟೀಚಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನಲ್ ಹೋದ್ರು ಎಲ್ಲೇ ಜಾಬ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ನಿಮಗೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳೋದೇ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್. Okay, what are the characteristics of ideal op-amp? Remember this question. ಇದು ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಇದು ಗೊತ್ತಿತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ಸ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಂತ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. So here, so what are the characteristics here? Gain. First you have to take gain. Okay, gain should be very high. Okay, second one is input current and input impedance. Okay, second characteristics, input current and input impedance. Next, output impedance. Then output impedance, bandwidth, okay, common mode gain, okay, open loop gain, then bandwidth. Okay, these are the cat 6 here. ನಿಮಗೆ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ 5 ಗೊತ್ತಿತ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ we can make any kind of derivations here. First you will go one by one here. You take first one here, gain. So I'm going to find out the gain here. So always you, in op-amp you have to take difference in signal. V1 is not equal to V2. Okay, V1 is not equal to V2 means you'll get output voltage. From that you have to find out the gain. Okay, suppose when V1 is equal to V2 here, then there is no output here. So always you take difference in V1 voltage and V2 voltage. Okay, so V2 is what here? Positive sign. V1 is negative sign here. That's why I write V2 minus V1. Understood? Don't write minus V1 and V2. Okay, that is not correct here. So V2 means what here? It's a positive sign. Okay, that's why I write first. Okay, plus V2 minus V1 because these two are different sign. Okay, means difference in voltage. So this difference in voltage multiplied by the what here? Amplifier constant. Okay, or gain of the op-amp. Understood? So you take now equations. You take the symbol here. There are two voltage here, V1 and V2. These two are having different sign. So for that you can write V2 minus V1 multiply by the gain of the op-amp. Okay, that is A. That should be equal to what here? Total output voltage. Okay, total. What is the total output voltage for the op-amp? For the open loop gain. This is open loop gain here. We are not connected any feedback, right? So for that you have to consider now total output voltage of the open loop op-amp, that is A into V2 minus V1. Next, this is very important here. Input current and input impedance. Input current and input impedance. Input impedance means what here? Resistance. Okay, input current means what here? It's a flowing current. Okay, so current across the input side. Current across the input side, you can call it the input current. So impedance and resistance. Current and resistance are these two are what here? Inversely proportional according to Ohm's law. Okay, what is the V equation here? I into R. Okay, V is equal to I into R. R you take it outside here, what will get here? V by I. Andre, the resistance is inversely proportional to current. Okay, that's why when resistance is infinity, current is 0. Okay, when resistance is infinity, current is 0. Why? Because these two are inversely proportional according to Ohm's law. Understood? That's why input impedance is infinity resistance. Okay, input resistance is very high. How much? Infinity. Okay, what is the current here? 0. Because resistance is very high here, current is almost 0. Okay, that is ideal op-amp characteristics. So op-amp is not supposed to draw any input current when input impedance is high. Signal current into the terminal 1 is 0. Signal current into the terminal 2 0 when input impedance is infinity. This is very important here. ಇದು ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ನೋಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಫೈನಲ್ ಇಯರ್ ಹೋದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಮರ್ತೋಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ. Next, output impedance. Okay, output impedance. Here output impedance is low. Okay, output impedance is low means 0. So you for that to take consider equation now, output terminal is equal to output terminal of the ideal voltage source. Andre output voltage it depends on the difference in input voltage. Okay, V0 is directly proportional to what here? Difference in V2 minus V1. In this condition, ideal op-amp, the resistance is 0. Okay, resistance is 0. You take one more diagram here, equivalent circuit. This is complete equivalent circuit here. Here I1 and I2 is 0. Why? Because the op-amp input impedance is infinity. Okay, Op-amp input impedance is input resistance is infinity here. That's why current is 0. Understood this one? So V1 and V2 is the source voltage. Okay, current is 0, but they given source voltage. Voltage is there, current to illa. Next, you take output voltage. So in output voltage, what happens here? You have to find out the V0 equation. Okay, V0 andre no source. V0 is the source. This is the output voltage source. What is the output voltage source equation here? A into V2 minus V1. Okay, we are going to represent the output voltage within the op-amp. So what is the V0 equation now? A into V2 minus V1. Understood? Next, so we take now output in phase with V2. Okay, first condition is what here? Output in phase. Andre, this one is the non-inverting. Okay, when suppose V2 is connected to positive terminal here, this one is the non-inverting. Non-inverting on the in phase. Okay, so V0 is equal to what now? V2 voltage. Okay, V0 is equal to V2 when there is no change in the phase. Okay, because this one is the non-inverting, means there is the same sign. Okay, V0 is positive, V2 is positive, there is the same sign here, means there is a non-inverting amplification. Suppose second condition, when V0 is equal to V1 voltage, andre output voltage V1 voltage may depend adrag enagutte, we'll get a different sign. Okay, because V0 is positive, V1 is negative. Okay, it acts as what here? Inverting amplification. V1 is signal negative ಇದೆ, V2 is a positive. So when V1 is negative, okay, output is positive because this one is the inverting amplifier. Understood? Same thing they given. So V0 is positive when V1 is negative because this one is the inverting amplifier. Op-amp responds to only difference in signal. Already I told, right? So op-amp, it senses the difference in input voltage. Suppose when V1, V2 is equal to 1 volt, and then when there is the same voltage, when there is the same voltage in V1 and V2, the output is always 0. You have to remember this. Okay, these are the basics. The basics can go for the next iterations. Okay, for the next class, I'll start with the characteristics of the op-amp now, practical op-amp. Okay, so here I'll complete the ideal op-amp part here. Okay, next class we'll start with the practical op-amp. So if there are doubts here, you can send me the WhatsApp message. I will stop the class now. You can leave the meeting.